Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new show.
Xavier used to be my boyfriend, then my fiance, and then my husband, so he's my ex-boyfriend.
We decided that we needed to spice this up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Living with My Ex. And of course, my beautiful, lovely co-host, my wife.
Hello.
Yo, bruh, stop doing that. Yo.
It's worth it every time.
It's not worth it. It's really,
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to
cringe.
the Inside Show, Living with Your Ex.
No. Cut. Start again. Do it properly. Yo, Paris is popping.
Hello.
It's not Monday, bro. Wrong show. Baby, start again. Greet the people properly.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Inside Show, Living with My Ex.
Hello.
Oh, man.
I got Johnny to
Don't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure, always an honor to be with you guys every single Wednesday morning. And of course, my other co-host from the Monday show just popped in to say what's up. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, so on our Wednesday show today, we're speaking about a conversation and a topic that goes around love is not enough, guys. Yo, for real. And it sounds controversial and it sounds like, how can you say love is not enough? But love is not enough, bro.
Oh, but the Bible says that if you have everything else but you don't have love, you have nothing.
You have nothing. But love alone and all by itself is not
enough.
All it's going to take, bro. There's a bunch of other elements that we're going to need and that we're going to have to implement to make it make sense.
Just a quick good morning to Nicole and Laverne. Good morning.
Good morning. Dankie om julle gekom het hoor. But stick around, please hit the like button, please also hit the share button if it is possible. And you know what, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support you guys are showing on this show. This show just started about 3 weeks ago, but already, boom, it's really popping off. Also, we got a sister channel also called Living with My Ex. It's a brand new channel that Anka and I have just put up on the side. So we're only posting the Living with My Ex content on that show. So of course, it is in partnership with the Inside Show, because you guys know that we obviously using the Inside Show studio, and of course the show goes live here first, but then we post like the shorts and all the other stuff on the Living with My Ex channel. So please go over there and go show some love. That will definitely be amazing.
And another quick one, we did post up the link if you would like to ask a question anonymously. I know that when it comes to marriages and relationships, we don't always want to air our dirty laundry. Not everybody's like us putting our dirty laundry out there, but if you'd like us to answer something, or maybe a question that we could maybe just delve into a little bit, topics we could delve into a little bit, post it on our link. It's up on Instagram on both our personal channels, which is
on the stories, yeah. So mine is Xavier and Anka, this is Anka and and that's it.
Yeah.
So please go there, hit that link, and then you can ask a question. It's completely anonymous. We don't know who it is, so you can ask your deepest, darkest questions that you were imagining and thinking about and wondering. You can drop it in there, and we'll definitely check it out and answer.
And even if we do know, if you'd like to just post it into our DMs, it's fine. Even if we do know, no judgment here. We're all human. We all go through things, and trust me, we all go through things.
So the thing is this, we always speak about that first year of marriage, right? Because that first year of marriage is so crucial, and it's that year where a lot of people get it wrong, and it's that year where a lot of people decide that they're gonna give up on marriage. And we've encouraged so many couples that have actually come to us personally and said, you know what, when we heard your story about that first year of marriage, it gave us the hope to actually say, okay, right, if we push through this first year, maybe things will start panning out and maybe we'll start getting some sort of momentum. And the reason we always hammer on that first year is because of that importance of that first year. Because remember, guys, the marriage is very different from dating, right? And this is what we always say. We've been singing the song for the past 10 years. Marriage is different from dating. Dating has a different dynamic to it altogether, right? Marriage has a different responsibility attached to it. It has a different connection attached to it. It has a different kind of umbrella over it, as opposed to just dating, joling, talking on the phone, that kind of thing. So what happens in dating? In dating is that Anka's living wherever she's living by her parents. I'm with my parents. We're chatting in the night. We're chatting the whole day. We're phoning each other. We're laying on the phone till late in the night. You put down. No, you put down. You drop it first. No, you drop first. Isn't there a song like that? There is. I think it's Mario and Chris Brown. Claes, what the song is I? You drop first and I drop first. That's the Mario and Chris Brown of Mario and... I think it's Bow Wow, if I'm not mistaken. Something about
You sound like
yeah, that's, I think that's gonna be before your time.
the classics that nobody knows.
That's the old school classics.
That nobody knows.
Yeah, it's definitely Bow Wow. Click, please check there, bruh. It's definitely Bow Wow. Something about you drop first, I drop first. So, anyways, if you guys know, please drop it in the comment section so we know that song, because now it's gonna just stuck in my head. But anyway, now it's that old love jam of no, you drop the phone, no, you drop the phone. Now when you're married, you laying right here. So it's next one you drop the phone and I drop the phone. It's like you just laying right here. Now you start seeing things that you didn't see when you were jolling, because now when you were jolling, it was we going on a
long johns.
Hey, bruh, now we going on a date. So obviously by the time I come to your house, she's aangetrek, je reek lekker, your haar is gedoen. You know, it's that vibe. For our English viewers, you dressed up, you're smelling nice, your hair is done, your makeup's done, everything's done. Now when you're married, it's now, hey bruh, I can't be sleeping with these lashes. So there goes the lashes.
How did this man just out me like that?
Now you can also out me all the stuff.
What's your brows? You wipe your brows off.
Yeah, I can't be sleeping with this makeup, so the makeup comes off. I can't be
All
sleeping
I'm
with
saying
my
is,
prosthetic
guys,
legs, so now you screw the
I'm
leg
just
off.
saying, this man didn't buy the full kit model. He bought aftermarket sports kit. So as hy my skuld dat ek in die oggende moet opstaan en eers die lashes aansit en die is aftermarket. If he bought the standard model, he didn't have to deal with that. But now he needs to deal with it.
Eish, bruh. For others, it's maybe the wig in the morning, screw off the leg first, take out the teeth, put it in a cup.
Obi tries got some teeth.
Put it in a cup, you know, all those vibes. And so now you start seeing elements that you didn't see when we were jolling. When you were jolling, what you can't no say, ne? Because this show is all about being real. You didn't poop in front of each other, ne?
Why must you say it like that? Say it nicely. Say it elegantly. You didn't fluff.
You didn't
windloss. Don't say it so ugly.
Flatulent in front of each other. You didn't flatulate in front of each other.
No, say it nicely. And no, I don't. So I still don't.
Now you all are married. Now it's somewhat just fun of vaba. Bro, there's this trend going on TikTok, ne?
It's a nasty trend. I don't want to hear about it. Move along swiftly. Thank you. I know you said it to me.
But anyways, so you didn't do that in front of each other. Wait, there's this other trend there. There's also on TikTok that I want that we probably should do, right? It's this trend where they show the first date, when it shows dating, ne? Then the guy's on the toilet and he says, "Baby, bring me the toilet roll." Then the girl comes and she stands by the door and she just throws it in. Then it shows after 6 months. Then he's like, "Baby, bring me the toilet roll." Then she comes, she closes her nose, then she brings the toilet roll and she puts it there. Then it shows after 1 year. Then she comes, and she doesn't close her nose anymore, but she just throws it and she runs out. Then it shows like after 2 years, when she comes in, she's on the phone, and she puts the toilet roll there. She's like, yeah. She's busy talking to her friend on the phone.
I don't think we'll ever reach
that. So it just shows that progression of like how it used to be more shach in the beginning and then how it kind of just unfolded.
I think personally for us, we're weird in that sense because I remember when Oscar Pistorius style thing came out and they're like, yeah, if they were living together, why did she lock the door? I locked the door. It's been 10 years later. I still lock the door. I don't think we'll ever reach the point where I come in on the phone and I just nonchalantly have a chat with you. Like, I don't think that should ever happen. That's like a me space.
It is, and it's your only space of serenity.
Like a sanctuary. Yeah, no.
So, anyways, so that happens in the first when you're dating. It's all these lovey-dovey things, and which should actually follow you into the marriage. Essentially, is what should happen.
Yeah, it should happen.
But sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes now when we're married, we start to let some of the things slide. Some of the gents, they don't worry about going to the gym anymore because they feel like, you know, this notion of I'm already married, I don't have to look after myself.
Yeah, or he can't leave me now, you know, on supply, so
I might as well.
Yeah.
Let it go.
I don't believe in the letting go.
And then you let everything go. No hangy poopiki. No, it's like, nah, gents, you still have to date, and you still have to kind of try and make that effort towards wanting to impress your partner, your wife, or your husband, because it's not a matter of like, are we together now already, so it is what it is. They must just take me for who I am. Love me for me.
I know, you must love me for me, but I must also love me for me as well, which means that I must also, you know, if the barn needs to be painted, paint the barn. You know, I get up in the mornings and I put on those brows, I put on those lashes, I put on that, the blush, because he must like what he sees when he comes. Veronique says, morning guys, to be honest, I go no matter what. Shaving, bathing, on the toilet, don't matter. I think for most couples that is the case. I think me and Xavier is just weird in that.
Seriously, Clyde? Really?
I'm sorry, Mr. Producer's on point.
So anyway, did you find a Bow Wow song? I think it's Bow Wow and Mario. Anyways,
only you know about that song.
Bruh, it's a song about dropping the phone or something like that. Anyway, guys, man, tell me in the comment section. I know you all know that song.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a 2000 vibes. What? Did you get the question?
No. It's the irritating thing about this app. It sends you random questions. And the reason why I know it's random questions is because it's irrelevant to me as a person. Like, it's stuff like, who are you trying to get with? Or who are your exes? Or where are you? I've had a crush on you. Then you're like, no, this is just like automated generated questions. But there are genuinely proper questions that do come through now and again. I'm waiting for those to come through.
Yeah, this one says, do you have a piercing? Seriously,
I had that question also a while
back.
back.
So that means that thing is lying to us.
He's lying.
Anyway, so that first year of marriage, all these things happen. And then when we actually got married, living in the same house, seeing each other's flaws, seeing the things that irritate ourselves with one another, it was like a rude awakening for us. And nobody prepped us for that. And nobody warned us about that. And I'm not talking about the toilet situation or the flatulent situation or the whatever. I'm talking about just everyday things that irritates you about the person or that irritates the person about you. And so that first year was very, very difficult, let alone if you later on bring in the children's side of things, because now there's that dynamic that's also added, and then there's the financial dynamic that's added. Then the children need to go to school, so there's a school fees dynamic that's added. And so all these different dynamics that's added can also add strain to your marriage, right? And in the first year, you kind of trying to make sense of it. And you always make that comment where you say that my mother's told you something in the first year to say, find your own culture, right? Because remember now, you coming with a culture from your side, I'm coming with a culture from my side. We're trying to make sense of the culture in the middle. We're trying to see how we can make this thing work together. And that whole balancing act of that first year, or even more than that first year, that year or two, it's a very difficult. Are you paying attention?
I am paying attention. I'm just trying to see if there is a few questions that are coming through.
So you literally just go on the app and you'll see the messages. So anyways, so it's a very difficult balancing act.
Why are you choosing violence? I think this is what you've been choosing since you fell out of bed this morning. Like, you just chose violence. Like, even this morning, we're just trying to live life, guys. I wake up very early, and and I'm a morning person, so I wake up at 5 o'clock. And by the time Xavier wakes up, mind you, I have to kick him out of bed. I want to talk in the morning, so I'm a talker. And Mans is just upset. Mans is not awake. Mans is just looking at me like...
No, Anka doesn't want to talk. Anka want to kickle. Kickle. The whole... I'm like, bruh, I didn't even open my eyes yet. Yo.
I just feel like, look, I'm in the season where I want to change the house. So,
asking me about, must I make this color? What do you think about
so
that color?
I'm like, it's my baby's birthday coming on. So remember, I've been up since 5. I've defrosted and my mind is going and working. And I'm waiting for the man to wake up so that I can... Because remember, he's my best friend. Like, I speak to him all the time. So why is he not waking up? And why doesn't he want to talk to me at 5 o'clock in the morning? Okay, not at 5, at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I just feel like he should... And since this morning, he's been a grouch. Like, really, he's been a grouch. So I don't know what happened along the way last night. Let me know.
What happens in the night when I try to talk? I come in the room and I'm trying to talk. Né? Then Anka does this thing where she's like, switch off the light. I'm trying to sleep. I mean, why are you moving things around?
Like, he has this thing where he's loud, he bangs things around, and it's a matter of...
you know what? You know there's a meme about it, né? I want us to make our own meme about it.
No, but my point is that people sleep at night. Night is for sleeping, so that you can be fresh during the day. So Xavier's got all of those wires really mixed up, and for some reason this morning he was just, off the edge of the bed, and he's been at it the whole time. I just want to live my life.
So, come and tell you what happens at night. Né? Sometimes I'm editing. Then I come to the room, but then Anka's already sleeping since like 7 o'clock. Ne? She sleeps early. Then I come in the room.
Because sleeping is nighttime is for sleeping.
Yeah, but not so early. Anyways, then I come in the room. Then I must now can't see where I'm going, so I have to switch on the light. Then it's an argument. Why are you switching on the light? Then I go around the bed. We need to fix up.
Don't tell the people that. Moving along swiftly. So what he does is he throws himself on the bed. I'm busy sleeping, and he throws himself. Why not just sit? Sit down.
You know that mattress.
Why are we throwing each other on the ourselves on the bed? But needless to say,
you know that mattress where they put like a wine and then someone jumps on the side of the bed.
You didn't want to get that bed for me. I wanted it a while back because it was a trend show and you didn't want it.
We need that bed so that if I jump on my side of the bed, you can't feel.
Okay, so guys, this is 10 years down the line for our marriage. But what happened in the first 2 years of our marriage?
The first 2 years of our marriage was difficult. I think the big thing that we needed to fix was the element of communication. For me, that was the big thing, because I think firstly the element of trying to find.
Levin got your song, Xavier. Mr. Producer, it is Bow Wow featuring Omari and Let Me Hold You.
Yes, it's that song. You see, I knew someone knew what I was talking about. You made me seem like I was mad. Let me hold you. It's that song.
Okay.
I need to Bow Wow and someone.
Yeah,
I said Mario, ne?
Yeah.
Anyways, so if Clayt finds it, we finds that piece where it plays that part. Anyways, so I think in the first part, that first year, even the first 2 years, maybe even the first 3 years, there was elements of.
I think for us it was the first 5 years.
It was elements of finding our own culture, because I had a way of doing things, you had a way of doing things, because.
Oh, and you did have a way of doing things.
Yeah, so you came from your house, I came from my house. So it's that element of trying to discover your own culture. So the first point I would make there is take the positive things that you had from your house. Now, this is probably for people dating or people in the first year or two of their marriage, right? Take the positive things from your parents' marriage, and I take the positive things from my parents' marriage. And then we see how we can implement the positive things. Because there might be some toxic things that your parents did and some toxic things that my parents did. And so now it's a matter of you coming in with those negative traits. I'm saying you take the good things that your mom did between your mother and your father.
Yeah.
I take the positive things that my father did in my parents' marriage. And then you kind of tailor it. You say, okay, I'm taking point 1 and point 2 out of this. You're taking point 3 and point 4 from there. We come together and we try to generate our own elements. So if there's elements like the kids must be in bed at this time, we don't allow the kids to watch certain things on TV or on the phones. We don't we communicate when I'm out. You send me a message, you say where I am. I like doing this thing where I send you the live location even though you don't look at it.
I do look at it.
Okay. So those are the elements that we implemented in our marriage.
But that came much later. I think in the beginning of our marriage, I think we really, really did struggle to find our feet, because I really did feel unloved in the beginning. Just to bring.
So why did you feel?
Yeah, just to bring everybody into the marriage. Now remember that I've said this before, that as girls we basically prepare for marriage. Our whole lives we play with dolls, we play with babies. We're basically groomed into motherhood from a very young age. Whether it's done, it's not done intentionally, but subliminally, definitely. And even if you watch the little stuff that the cartoons and stuff that we used to watch, girly girls, we want a big home, we want a big castle with a prince and a knight in shining armor. We wanted all those things. Whereas guys are not taught that. Guys are play with cars and go on, and their toys just get bigger. And believe you me, it doesn't change. The older guys get, the bigger their toys become. So it doesn't really go away. But when we stepped into our first year of marriage, and remember, I was plunged out of my mother's home. Like I've lived my whole life in my mother's house, and now I'm into a complete different environment, complete different culture. I don't know the place. Joburg is vast, and I've been indoctrinated that people get robbed elke hoek and draai. So I'm extremely scared. I mean, there was times in the beginning of our marriage, I called Xavier, there's someone on the roof. Meantime, it's just a dove on the roof. And I think
preface it by saying that you originally come from a smaller town.
Yes,
where there's not as many people, and it's not as and things are not far apart.
So for me, in the beginning of our marriages, I couldn't find a job because I didn't have paperwork. We were married, but I had to wait for my paperwork from Home Affairs, and then we also fell pregnant within the first year of marriage. But there was this notion that, remember when I was
When
I
was
was here,
Eva born? 2015.
2015, but 4 months into our marriage, we were pregnant already. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that when that first couple of years, so I was at home, so I did all the housework. Now, bear in mind that we pay somebody to come in and do housework for us. I literally did the housework, the laundry, all of that stuff. When Mans came home, his dinner was cooked as atrocious as it was. High shame, he survived it.
Months, bruh.
Ja,
and I had months again.
Ja, maar jy het dit geëet en jy's fine.
Maar ek like die months, is alright.
Ja, jy's nou nie Hulk Hogan nie, maar jy het geëet. Don't stress you, yeah. And and during
Lucky
that
I
time,
wasn't picky about it.
whatever, Trevor. So you can't be still picky because I still can't cook. It's still 10 years later. But the point that I'm trying to make is, there was this. I felt like he's seen many Raki because a lot of the times he'll come home and he'll just do things like leave his socks and stuff around, which in our minds is how seen you may as the helper he so. And then the other thing was there was this comparison. I think we constantly compared each other to our exes in the beginning of our marriage, and I think we really did that in the beginning because a lot of the times, and you'll tell me, yeah, but I bring home the bacon, I pay for this, I pay for that, and I was like, hello, I know I can't bring something home, but this is what I do. I'm here. I'm present. I cook. I clean. I and I was very highly pregnant most of that time in our first year. But I felt like there wasn't a sense of appreciation for me, but I think it was more a matter of because we didn't understand who the other one was. What was it that was needed to make me feel loved? And a lot of the times we don't have that conversation because for us it was a matter, jong, ons is getroud, ons is hier so and we need to make this work. But we didn't think about, okay, fine, let's go to counseling, let's see what is it that the other one needs to make him feel loved. And having said that, I'm not gonna lie, my mouth did get the better of me.
Yeah, and when your mouth gets the better of you, you become disrespectful, right? And so when you become disrespectful, and this is where the vicious cycle now starts, because, and again, you're gonna hear us on the show always speak about this death spin, right? The spin of death, where the cycle now begins, and when that cycle starts going out of control, it really does start spiraling completely out of control. So now you become disrespectful, you become cheeky, you start saying whatever you want to say. And then I stood there and I'm like, yeah, but you're rude and I don't want to deal with this. And so it makes me switch off. And now the more I'm switching off, I'm purposely trying to punish you by not showing love because it's almost like I'm trying to correct your behavior by punishing you, right? But in the process, I'm actually contributing to the mess now. I'm adding spice to the flop.
It's kind of like when you say like the hamster's wheel. When someone gets onto when the hamster gets onto the hamster's wheel, it just rolls and goes in circles. It just oscillates the whole time. It just in circles the whole time. But as soon as the hamster gets off the circle, the little wheel stops spinning.
But here's the thing. And that's why it's called the cycle of the cycle of death, right, or the spin of death, because I'm trying to punish you by now withdrawing or withholding my love, and men can do this. Men, I've heard of gents when they come home, they sit in the car because they just don't want to go in, because they just don't want to feel like, oh, this woman is rude, man, I don't have lust for this disrespect now, so I'll sit in the car longer. This is also the thing that opens up doors for cheating. Now you come at work, there's someone smiling with you, hey, how are you good? And now you find out, oh, he's a good-looking gent, he's chums or whatever. Now he's getting attention at work. Now he checks to himself, and now you start justifying catching on nonsense in your mind, because now you're feeling like, yeah, well, if you're going to act like this, then I might as well do this. And I've heard a lot of people reason that way. They're like, yeah, well, I'm not getting anything at home, so might as well. Yeah, if you're gonna spite me, then I'll spite you back. So now it becomes this spite for a spite kind of situation. And this is where I now come home and I want to spite you. Now, because I'm spiting you, you want to spite me back. Now you spite me, but now it's a spite for a spite, but we're not getting anywhere. And it actually starts becoming uglier and uglier and uglier. And I think also this is where eventually especially from a man's point of view, or even from a woman's point of view, where domestic violence becomes a thing. Because now I feel so disrespected. Now the argument becomes heated, and now the heat of the argument is escalated to a point now where ons staan en skree nou op mekaar.
But and I think this is important to note. Look, a woman's innate need is to feel loved, right? And a lot of times, I think in some situations, what happens is a lot of people, yes, they do it intentionally, but I think for the most part, we don't do it intentionally. So the disrespect comes from a place where I feel you don't see me. I do the things. I'm like, but I expect this from my child, right? I expect my child to leave the socks. I expect my child not to pick up after themselves. So now that is what's going on in my brain, right? So now I verbalize this. But I'm not saying you are a child. I'm saying I expect this from a child, right? But what the guy is, what him as a man, he's reading into this is
What I'm hearing is you telling me I'm a child.
Yes. And I'm not saying that, but that's what he's hearing, because innately you are drawing a comparison, inadvertently you are drawing a comparison between the two. But what happens is that that puts that cycle into play now, because I am constantly feeling alive, because there's certain things that, I mean, it's even a trend on TikTok where the Jane says, when I talk dirty to my wife, then they're busy cleaning up, putting things in the bin, or they're busy sweeping, or and that's what makes the wife happy. It's not because I expect you to clean, but it's because I expect you to help me around the house, because this is our job. When did we just decide it's just my job? When did we just decide that the pressure is just on me? And that's how you sort of like equal and balance the whole situation of
But I think that's where the flop comes in, because now the O feels like, yeah, but bruh, I was at work the whole day.
Yeah, but
and I'm working and I'm trying to make an effort. Yeah, I'm bringing the money home, I'm paying for.
But that is so flawed.
I'm paying for
it's
the car.
flawed, because what happens now is that I'm also working. So essentially what's happening, I'm going to work, I'm working. Then I must come home and clean the house. That's two jobs already there. Then I must come home, and I remember the pressure of the kids is mostly on me, because the kids will be sitting next to Xavier. Or Xavier will be next to the fridge, and they'll say, "Mommy, I want water. Mommy, please open this. Mommy, do that. Mommy, please do this." It falls on me. So there's another job.
And your kids also like it, guys.
That's four
just
jobs
want
that falls on me. So the argument of, yeah, but I'm bringing home the bacon. Yeah, but I'm doing this. Yeah, but I'm also going to work. That's a flawed argument, because now it doesn't see me. What I'm saying is that. And I think you've noticed this, that when I've cleaned the house or whatever, and you guys come and you guys mess up or whatever, I'm instantly irritated. Now we fight, and you're like, yeah, you're supposed to make the house a home. You're supposed to make it must be a place I want to come home
Playing
to.
that voice.
Yeah, that's what you do. I'm just saying that if you come home and you see one another and you say, okay, fine, okay, I'll like last night, case in point, right? You walk in. I ask you, baby, please help me clean the lounge real quick. I was busy in the kitchen and the kids were upstairs. Please help me clean the lounge quick, because I want to go put the kids to bed. I don't know. Mans is going to tell me he didn't hear. But he was standing right in front of me. He heard everything else I just said. But that's the one thing he didn't hear.
Maybe it's the thing I didn't want to hear.
The admission. Finally, someone admits.
Here's the thing, right? That I want to just reverse a little bit to the point that you made earlier about you feeling frustrated in that space, and now you. She says the kids ask their father for everything. Here's the thing, right? You were speaking about you frustrated, I'm frustrated. You comparing me to the kids, right? You saying what you think you're saying, but I'm hearing what I'm hearing you saying, but I'm hearing something different, which again goes to the point, and I think this is what we had to come to realize in that maybe after year 7 or after year 8, we were like,
it wasn't that bad. Let's just
no,
stick it to year 6.
But you didn't hear what the point I was making. I'm saying the point is that then only we actually realized, okay, maybe men and women see things differently.
As much as
maybe they see the world differently, and I think this is a point that we must not underestimate this point. This point can cause miscommunication to the point of divorce, because we do see the world differently. What I value is not what you value. My socks on the floor, I couldn't care less. If I was living alone and my socks were on the floor, bruh, a man doesn't see any, I don't care. But to you, it means something different, right? To you, there's a whole backstory behind. You see me as the maid, you see me as this, you see me as that. To me, I'm like, but I don't.
Okay.
I'm not even. It's not even a thought in my mind. I'm not even considering. It doesn't even.
So the only comparison that I could think of, right? And when we did this, we've had arguments to the point where I thought I'm going to check out. If I don't get help now, I'm going to check out. And it's one important thing that you must remember: don't check out. Fight for your marriage at all times. Doesn't matter how trivial it is. So I booked an appointment with a counselor, and we went there and we sat there and he said the exact same thing that I was saying. He just relayed it in men's terms. He said the exact same thing, but just so that he could hear it, because wording and
but
meaning
even attitude and delivery.
Yeah,
makes
it makes a difference. So the only way I can explain or bring the comparison in the house is this. So Xavier likes a clean car. I couldn't care less, right? So what happens is that I want my house clean. I don't want socks in my lounge. I don't want shoes in my lounge, because what that means is I must get up and I must pick it up. Every now and again, when I come downstairs and I'm in the lounge and there's a cup, there's on my TV console, there's plates and cups and what. Now, bear in mind, this is not him. This is him and the kids. They would leave something there from the night before. Mostly the kids, but there would be a plate. There would be a plate. And there would be some socks, maybe, sometimes. And there would be shoes, always. And there'd be laptop chargers or whatever, right? And I have to constantly, I just clean this. Why must I do the same things constantly? Now I'm feeling unloved already. Now we get into the car. There's socks in the car. There's shoes in the car. There's the kids' bags in the car. My handbag is there. My lipstick is there. The boot is full of...
No, your handbag is laying open and everything fell out. Say that.
But it was neatly there.
Anyway.
Neatly there. You had the car the whole day. I get my entire perfume is sprawled out on the carpet. But anyway, that's not the point. So he gets irritated. Why must the car look like this? And needless to say, this happens. We can clean it today. When the kids get into the car, it's over. Osama bin Laden has exploded a bomb in there, and that's it. Set off a bomb in there, and that's it. Right? But he gets irritated. So the concept remains the same. He wants a clean car. Why is everything sprawled over the car? Why must he keep on cleaning things all the time? It's the same concept with a house. Why must I clean it all the time? And I think
a quick question I want to ask you.
Yes.
Okay, say what
I think subconsciously I just let go of the car, because I feel like, maar jy kan mos ook die kar nou skoon maak, want ek moet die
that's
skoon
fine.
maak.
So I'm saying this, right? I'm saying from back to the point of we see the world differently. Would you acknowledge that? The point that something that you would find frustrating doesn't matter to me. Let alone I'm not seeing what you're saying. I can see what you're saying and everything, but it doesn't mean anything. This is the
point of contention for me and Xavier for very many years. Yes, I will concede, because that is a fact.
No, so now the question is,
things differently.
Are there things that I would find frustrating, or I would find irritating, or I will find but my bro, you can't do this. You can't park the car there.
Yes.
And then to you, it's just like, I mean, why are you carrying on like that?
But
is it the other way around? Because surely there has to be things where...
I think in our marriage, I don't know. You've never voiced opinion, yeah, maar jy kan nie so maak nie. I think maybe with the finances, not even with the finances. I don't know. You've never really voiced opinion, because I don't know. For us personally.
Because surely there has to be something that I also disagree with, or I also don't like. Maybe it's just because I'm not saying anything, but there has to definitely be something that a guy...
definitely not saying it, because
because I can tell you now, if you had to bring any gent in here now and say, bra, are there things... Oh, let's not say in front of the ladies. Now, let's say we go play a round of golf, whatever, we're standing and talking. I'm willing to bet you there'll be things that the gents will say, bra, my wife does this and this and this, and yo, I can't handle it.
Is that why you go play golf?
Whatever. Yeah. It's given that I haven't played golf for the past 3 years, however long. But I'm saying, but I think again to the testament that men and women see the world differently. A man is not going to come there and complain.
But having
He's
said
just gonna Hey, bruh.
Yeah, but
Sit
having
in the
said
car
that-
longer or stay at work longer or just dodge the whole situation.
That's not solving the situation.
No, it's not solving the
So,
situation, but it's
why they do that.
it's a
You can understand why they do it, but you don't justify why they do it.
or if you say it's a telltale sign that that's always frustrated.
So here's the point of contention, right? I'm saying that because I'm telling you the socks make me feel unloved and you are disrespecting me by leaving the socks there. His point is that, yeah, but I'm not intentionally putting it there, and I'm not saying, yeah, I'm going to leave the socks here because I want to make her feel unloved. But the fact that I'm telling you, I am communicating to you that this is making me feel unloved. The next step for you to change that cycle is don't leave the socks there because that's how I feel, regardless of what your intention is. Even if your intention is beautiful, it's making me feel a certain way. So the next thing would be is to don't do it. Stop doing that. So I'm saying that if you know when we come into the house and I know tonight I want to hanky-panky or whatever, come, let's play along. Let's play along. Let's make sure, like, come I help with picking up a few of the stuff. Come I help maybe just sweep or whatever. It's just that little bit that goes the extra
So
mile.
to bring balance to that conversation, is there elements that you're hammering on the thing that the guy is leaving his thing?
Yeah, because I'm a woman. I need to come from my point.
So,
you need to make a
that's
point.
what I'm saying. Are there elements where also because I can concede to that. Yeah, bro, let me make sure this is clean, whatever. Are there elements also from the male perspective?
You need to give me that.
It's also like
because
there's also elements where the ladies concede that.
But
Okay,
I don't think you
maybe I also
do. You
need to
know what those
adjust.
elements are? Because
Just read Nicole's thing there.
okay, so just to back up a little bit, we've got Merle Sass Peterson. Hi Yella. This is the first time someone outside of my marriage says exactly what happened in my marriage, and I've been married for 33 years. And you know how amazing that is because we all think that our marriages are unique. But the reality of the matter is these are two different people coming together. We struggle with the same things. It's just, I think a lot of people aren't willing to speak about it, but we just want to fight.
But can I say something on that exact point there? A lot of the reason why our topics and our show also does well is because of precisely that fact. The fact that we talk about the things that people don't want to talk about. Because the thing is, somebody said the other day, guys, why are you putting out your dirty laundry like that and whatever?
That.
So we said, no, it's not about dirty laundry. It's things that we've already worked through. So we're not going to now, after the show is done, we're going to
but you said this. Why did you say that?
No, it's things that we've already worked through. But the point is precisely that what the comment says, is that there's somebody now that's married for 2 years that wants to call it quits. That now watches this and says, oh, okay, so, all right, okay, so then then it's all right, we can figure this thing out. Because now you sitting there for that year or 2 years thinking, this is never going to come right. And the whole point is to show you that, yes, it does come right. And the tools that you can start to implement for it to actually come right. Read Nicole.
No, I want to answer Sheldon's question,
First,
but I'll
read
get
Nicole
there. Yeah. Okay, Nicole says, it's how you say it. I really had to learn that the hard way. I always thought because my speaking the truth, my partner should just accept it because it's truth, but your delivery is that is very important. I had to learn that also because I'm well versed in the art of sarcasm, and I grew up like this because I grew up with 2 older brothers, and that was, my fighting technique.
Again, back to the point that you said earlier when we went to the counselor, and he's saying that, and again, it's the delivery, it's the attitude, and it's also the venom that comes behind it because you just fresh off an argument here.
So you want to inflict.
So obviously the person that's on the receiving end is obviously taking it as a jab. You're like, you now saying this because you want to tell me, no, as true as it can be, that can varok us. And I can concede also to the fact that what you're saying is true. But because you're now saying it to want to tell me nonsense, it's the point. It's the point where it's like, don't tell me because you want to tell me.
So what happens is the relevance of what you're saying goes out the door. Now we're just fighting.
Now I'm not hearing. Yeah. I don't even care what you're saying, even if you're right.
Yeah, and
it's
we've
the point
had
that
this.
You want to tell me nonsense.
And I know for me, even my mother is the type of person that takes Xavier's part in 90% of the stuff, which is why I don't tell her things when it comes to our marriage. But what happens is, because she knows, and even my brother had this conversation with Xavier, where he'll say like, this one's mouth ne, this one will fight to the death, because I knew that to be my fighting, my defense mechanism growing up, and a lot of that was difficult to break down.
But it is a weakness.
It is a weakness
because it doesn't help the situation.
It doesn't help the situation.
You want to be right.
Having said that there's always a trigger as well. So remember that it's important that you don't. It's my back washes your back, essentially. So and we said this from the start of our show, is that the idea is that you always put the other one first. So if I'm going to back down to say, okay, fine, I'll leave my sarcasm and whatever, it should be of equal. To say, okay, fine, then, okay, let me pick this up. I was wrong. Let me pick this up. Let me put it away, whatever. And that breaks that cycle.
Okay, the other day we were driving. We were going somewhere. I said to you,
that was a pivotal point in our marriage.
Yeah, but that's the point I want to make, because
it was so trivial, but it was pivotal.
Yeah, but I mean, that is the point, because that could have just as well escalated into something else. So we drove somewhere. I said, I'll take you because you nagged me to take you somewhere.
Wait, the backstory is this: there was a bit of miscommunication. So I have to go buy stock or whatever, and Xavier's not always keen to go because he doesn't like.
I don't like shopping and sitting in the shop. It's irritating.
Right.
So here's the thing, right? So I tell Anka, okay, I'll come fetch you and I'll go with you. So I got my fetcher. We're driving. We're like already 15 minutes away from home. She says, I forgot my wallet.
Yeah, no, but look, he said he's going to come fetch me. Now, he's not communicating that I'll take you to the shopping place. He's not saying that. He's just saying, I'm coming to come fetch you. So in his mind, he's thinking, okay, I'll take my wife. But I'm thinking, we're just going to go back to the office. That's what I'm thinking, and then I'll find someone to go with me.
Yeah. So now she forgot the wallet.
And we're 15 minutes away
and
from
we're already like far. So now I'm like, there's no point in. And here's another thing also, that my approach towards anything, and there's another scenario that we can also share. Remember when we were driving to your parents and the whole tire burst and things. But my approach to life is, bruh, there's now really no point. What's the point now to fight and argue and
I don't come from a space like that.
That it doesn't need to be. And Anka comes from, I want to argue and I want to be right, and I'm like,
not like that. Why are you vilifying my background?
What's the point? Let's just go fetch the ons het nou vergeet, ons is nou klaar hier, ons het nou petrol gemors. It is what it is. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna go there without the wallet,
the pivotal point,
or are we gonna turn around and fetch the wallet?
What happened?
So then I said, it is what it is. Let me turn around and fetch the wallet. So obviously I'm now irritated because it's like, bro, we're so far already out and we live in a boondoes. Now we're far out. Now we must drive back into there.
What were you saying to me at the time?
So now I'm saying to you, baby, this is now unnecessary because I told you I'm coming to fetch you. How do you leave your wallet at home when you know you need the wallet? And what Anka said, she said, sorry, baby.
I literally, wait. I said it a couple of times, but he didn't hear it, right? And then what I did was I said, baby,
I was
look
wrong.
At me.
I shouldn't have left the
look
wallet
at me.
there.
And when he looked at me, like it's like everything stopped. And then he looked at me and I'm like, I'm sorry. I was wrong. And it flipped. It flipped.
And listen here. And in literally in 1 second, we changed
I was shook.
We changed the radio. We played some nice music, and there, lovey-dovey, back to go fetch the wallet.
Even I was shook.
But again, and this is a testament, and I want to say this to the ladies, specifically from a guy's perspective. This argumentative attitude, it really, I promise on my life, it doesn't help anything. If you want to start fighting and escalating the thing where it doesn't need to go, it's just an unnecessary exercise, and it can escalate into a place where really it starts becoming violent. It starts getting to the point where you're pulling the car off on the side of the road, get out, and
chasing
all
each
this,
other.
and now we're chasing each other on a highway and stuff like that.
You have to pick up people like that.
It can escalate to that point.
And it's unnecessary.
But look how easy it was. Né? You were wrong. You were wrong. Okay, fine, you were wrong. Now, baby, I was wrong. Sorry.
But
finish and clap.
I think what's important there is to bring the situation back to like a central point and a calm point, and then actually mean what you're saying. So if you're going to say something patronizing, that's just going to escalate the situation as well.
Yeah, sorry, now what now? And I forgot it now.
I said sorry most now.
I must now say sorry.
So
now, it's like
there comes into play how you say it and body language and all of that. But even for me, 9 years into my marriage, that was a pivotal point. There was like, and even the weeks leading after that, I was like, my man het my eintlik lief. Kanti, 9 years I was questioning, and now I have answers.
Yeah, but look and it's also
sorry,
a scripture.
Baby. Yeah, sorry, baby. But what happened in that situation was that I have my train of thought.
It's also a scripture where it's a matter of a harsh answer stirs up wrath, and a gentle answer turns away anger. I can't remember exactly how the scripture goes, but it's technically that.
But 9 years into my marriage, it became a thing of like it was such a pivotal and an awakening moment that it was like, a simple sorry. Sometimes I want to say sorry, but I want you to understand how I felt. Now, there's where the trouble comes in, because I want you to feel or know how I feel. And now the sorry becomes patronizing. The sorry becomes unjustified.
Do you think it's an element of you underestimate my intelligence? Like, you don't think that I can see what you're saying?
No.
Do you think it's a matter of...
No.
I want to prove this point.
So
even
it becomes I hear what you're saying, but no, it becomes a point. This is personally for me. It becomes just like you just want the sorry. You want a meaningful sorry. I want you to acknowledge my feelings, because remember, woman is all about feelings. So I want you to acknowledge, okay, baby, I see what you're feeling. I want you to acknowledge it, just like you want me to acknowledge the sorry and mean it. So that's basically the two ends of the scale.
But you see, the gentle answer turns away wrath. The gentle answer immediately switches the atmosphere. And the one thing I hate is, bro, this arguing in front of the children also. That's something
that's a no.
That's something that I cannot, I'm never ever going to get used to that. I won't ever get used to it. I'm not going to tolerate it. And I just can't, bro. Just fighting because you're putting the children in a awkward space. You're making the atmosphere in the house awkward. Die arme kinders weet nie moet hulle kom of moet hulle gaan nie. It's like there's something...
And it creates anxiousness in the kids.
And the kids become anxious. And then later on it plays out at school. The teacher phone you to say your child is acting up like this and that and that.
Yeah.
Because julle beklei hier vir die kinders. Okay. Guys, that is a massive no.
I really want to get to Sheldon's
Go
thing.
for it.
And the reason why I want to get to Sheldon's question is because this is a point that is dear to my heart. Before we get to his last point, is we value different things as people or partners. Our dominant functions are so conflicting that we don't see the issues that our partners see as an issue. That's so true. Here's what I want to deal with. On the point of cleaning, does the partner who is complaining about leaving stuff on the floor never leave their own stuff on the floor? So this is something that comes up now and again in our home. So my point to this one is that, yes, I do leave my stuff on the floor, but I pick it up. No one picks it up for me.
I
pick it
to
up.
That as well.
So I'm saying that if you leave something on the floor, I'm not expecting you to pick up 3 days from now. I'm expecting you to pick it up because it needs to be cleaned up, right? But if you picked up your own stuff, we wouldn't have this conversation. I pick up my own stuff, and there's never an expectation that you must pick it up because you never pick it up in any case.
But
I pick it up.
And in the light of that, that's not all the way true. There's been, and then Anka's gonna say, yeah, that was once or twice.
Yeah.
But there's been moments
Literally.
where, and here's the thing, and on that point that Sheldon is making there, like I'll pick up whatever it is that you've left, throw it in the what do you call this, the mainkie or whatever. Maybe just give me a second to say this. Throw it in the mainkie or whatever. But the difference is, I literally won't bring it up at all. At all. I won't say, yeah, I picked up your things you left today on top. I'll just throw it in there, and it wouldn't. And again, it goes to the point where we see the world differently. Like, to me, that doesn't matter.
I have an argument there. Like, if you have to do something constantly and you have to do it repetitively, it becomes an irritation.
I feel like we're getting stuck on this point. I want to see what Nicole is saying.
Yeah, we got to do that. I just want to make this point. If you're doing something repetitively, if you're doing something repetitively,
I have my last say.
I need to have my last say because this is something that is something in our home.
You can see how the arguments go.
Yeah, this is literally how it goes on at home. Only it's a bit more.
It's a bit more passionate.
Passionate, yes, there's the word. It's a bit more passionate. But we've got onlookers now, so let's behave. So it becomes a thing of if the kids or someone does something repetitively and you're like, why do you keep on doing the same thing constantly? Because I have to redo it and I have to do it constantly. Whereas if you do it once in a while, you're not going to mind if you have to do it once in a while. But if you have to do it every single day, it becomes an irritation. So what I'm saying is, kom ons stel dit ons so goed op. Moving along swiftly. Nicole says, but don't go being sorry and then you do the same thing over. Dankie, Nicole. Ooh, amen. Over and over again. That definitely leads to hectic, uncontrollable arguments. Yeah, Sheldon, you shall agree with Pastor Xavier.
Yeah, but it is, but again it goes back to the point I was making earlier, and this is something, guys, that we can't be oblivious to, that we see the world differently. That in the book of Love and Respect, he speaks about different tinted glasses, that men see the world in blue and women see the world in pink. We see the world differently, and that's how it should be, because we bring different elements to the table. We bring something that I would find important. Anka doesn't think it is what it is. Something that she thinks is important, I'm also like, but it is what it is. So, and that's it. And that's the whole point. That's how we complement each other. That's how we cover the base. I cover something that you're not seeing. You cover something that I'm not seeing. That's the point. I don't care about the children's school uniform. I don't care about the children's. I don't even. That's not even something I think about. All I think about is where we're gonna get the money to buy the uniform. That's what I'm stressing about. Anka comes, ons moet die uniform koop, we have to buy the uniform, we have to buy the stationery. But I couldn't care less if a pink pencil, a green pencil, a red, I don't care. My brain is saying, how much is the uniform? The uniform is X amount, 5,000 rand. Okay, fine. Now I go with that information in my brain, I must go find the 5,000 rand now, so that we can buy the uniform. So, but they both complement each other. I'm coming up with a solution, and you are dealing with the situation. The uniform must be this. The children's school shoe size is this. They must have a t-shirt for this. They must go to PT after that PE. They must do this and that and that. But I don't care. I just need to know how much it is, so I can figure out a way so that we can go and buy the things. Whatever happens, sizes and all, that's not my business. It's one way of looking at it. And it maybe not right. Some people say, yeah, but as the father, you must also know this. But for me, in our house, our dynamic is, Anka goes, buys the shoes and this. Me, I have to figure out how am I going to come up with the funds so that we can sort this thing out. And that's just the dynamic, because that's just how we see the world differently.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate, and this goes both ways, is that as much as we see things in a different light, which is how it's supposed to be, we see things through different glasses, and it's supposed to be that way because we have to fill a different purpose in the home, right? But we also have to
understand how the other person
works. We also have, because remember, we now need to work together. We need to come together and be able to form a unit and lock into one another. But we need to understand each other. So if I'm communicating to you and I'm telling you, look, this doesn't work for me, makes me feel a certain way. In order for you to stop that cycle, listen to what the other person is saying. And this goes vice versa. It's not just, yeah, but I told you, and you're not listening to me. But are you listening to the other person? There's two people in the situation. There's two sets of feelings in the situation. So we need to look at what the other person, but hear the person with understanding, so that you can change whatever it is to block that cycle. Because once that cycle comes into play, it's very difficult to get off that hamster's wheel. It's difficult to step out of that. And for someone like me who's well versed in the art of sarcasm, yes, it creeps in every now and again. I'm not going to be perfect. And who says something snappy now and again. That will put Xavier into a different set of emotions, and now we're back into this loop. If he continuously heeds to that call that I'm calling out, it's going to put this cycle back into place. Likewise, yes, he's still going to leave the socks there. He's still going to leave his clothes at the side of the bed, or he's still going to leave the clothes next to the basket instead of in the basket. Those things are going to happen. I'm not saying that every time it happens, we must have an argument every time. Yes, once in a while, we're going to let it slide. But don't let it happen all the time to perpetuate that cycle constantly. I said my said.
Yeah, you got your last word in, yeah. Guys, I leave her socks on the floor. That's technically what she's saying.
But I don't like socks on the floor.
There's now not cause to come and...
om die hele appelkaart om te gooi.
Los nou die hele marriage, klein nou hier voor die kinders. So, and again, so that's, I guess that's the thing, man. And so the whole point is that we said a lot, but we wanted to kind of open up the challenges that we faced, and also I like the fact that there's a lot of like you guys relate to a lot of what we're saying, everyone that's watching, and I think that's the win for me, because if there's relatability, that means that we go through the same things. And also the other win for me is the fact that when I watch these like YouTube videos and they all technically saying the same thing, what makes it funny is because we can relate to it. It's like, yo, brother, this is funny because this happens with us as well. And I think that is where the connection comes in. I feel like you're not paying attention.
No, I'm trying to get, because every time there's a notification for a new question, but the question is generated from the app constantly, and it's so irritating because I'm thinking it's one of you guys that actually want to know something meaningful.
So Nikki saying communication is extremely important.
Once or twice a month, budget sit down makes a huge difference in a household. Financial planning saves us from a lot of unnecessary money fights. I think that is a complete show when it comes to finances. That's a whole topic. Like we can delve into that in depth. It really does.
That one can get rough.
It can get. Ask us, we know. I didn't work for 3 years. For the first better part of 3 years of our marriage, and we had a child. We lived off of one income. And we were always of the notion, ons gaan maar ons eie potjie self uitkrap. We could have screamed out, like called out for help, but we wanted to do our thing by ourselves from the beginning.
Yeah, this makes you stronger also.
It does make you stronger, but jy het harde tande nodig om die klippe op te kou. And it really was, especially for me, my entire support system was in a completely different country. I was cut off from the whole world. So, all of that, it
act like you were living in...
I lived in a completely different country. I did.
America.
Did you live in Namibia?
100,000 kilometers weg.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I could get into the car and drive to my mother's house.
Yeah, you can drive there, but you couldn't.
That's a 16-hour drive, Xavier. Don't try to justify it. I couldn't get into the car and drive on a Sunday afternoon and drive to my mother's house. Stop with your nonsense. Yeah. Moving along swiftly.
So again, quickly, last one before we call it, because it's time to go. Time
is up.
There was a conversation. We were with another couple in the car, right?
Oh.
And Anka was driving, and I saw that she was going for the thing.
Give the backstory. So we'd already been driving for 8 hours, and I took the wheel because I wanted to give him a bit of resting time, right? And we were not even 8 hours. We were more than 8 hours on the road. Were we 8 hours on the road?
I don't know, but we were on the road for a while, and I said, please drive a bit. And I could see this thing coming, and Anka hit this thing so hard. You know where they fix the road, and then sometimes the one side of the road is higher and then the other side of the road is like this. And I'm busy watching, and I'm sitting there watching like, oh gosh, this is going to punch my tire. I can see this coming.
You were awake?
Yeah, I saw it. I could see you're going to hit this thing. But then there was nothing. I didn't want to argue in front of the people.
Because I was just pushing to
turn it into something it doesn't need to be. So anyways, we pull over. I jump out. I know there's a spare wheel in the boot. I know the nuts are all there, everything. Screw the wheel off, put the spare wheel on, screw it back on. Come, let's go. So
within 10 minutes.
We carry on driving. So I'm like, let me drive, please, because we can't afford any other mishaps. And we already one wheel down. So anyway.
Like this happens. So we drive. Like this is a regular occurrence.
So we drive. And later on, the other couple that was with us, the lady says to Anka, so aren't you all going to argue? Anka says, no. So then they look at me like, aren't you angry? I'm like, yeah, I'm irritated, but
it's not going to help the situation now.
So, and the point is of that whole story is that, bruh, it is what it is. We're in the middle of nowhere. There was a spare wheel.
Look, the car is completely full, right?
It is.
The car is completely full. We have other people in the car. We have our kids in the car. We still have a better part of 8 to 10 hours to still drive, right? So we can go the other route. We can get out kicking and screaming and first have a good 10-minute argument. Yeah, why didn't you stop? Why didn't you pull over? Why didn't you do this? Well, you knew we were tired. You could have just woken me up. Why don't you look where you're driving? We could have had this whole entourage of conversation of points to make or whatever. And take a whole 10 minutes just for that. Then take another 10 minutes to unload the car because we need to actually get the tire out of the car.
And then
take another 10 minutes to actually put the car, to put the tire on. Then take another minute to the luggage back into the car. That sets us back a whole 40 to 50 minutes. Then get back into the car.
And now driving
And
recklessly
now
because you're angry.
Now the atmosphere is upset. The kids are anxious and upset. It's awkward because we've got guests in the car. And now we're driving recklessly, putting everyone's lives in danger. This just throws the yellow apple cart up. For what? It literally took us 10 minutes. It took us 5 minutes to get because everyone just jumped into it. Get the bags out of the car. Get the wheel out. Took us 10 minutes to put the wheel on. Pack everything while they were putting on the tire. We then put everything back into the car. 15 minutes, chop chop. We were on our way, and we could have been set an hour back. For what? Just because we couldn't control emotions. Just because we couldn't say to the other one, okay, look, this now happened. Let's get this thing done and go. And
I think it also boils down to emotional intelligence. It boils down to being petty also. It's just a lot. And you know what? We take it for granted, but there's couples, bruh. I've seen. And then now it makes everyone awkward in the car.
It
because now you'll have a train unnecessarily. Vamos no maki. No certain like yeah. And it just really doesn't work. So guys, pick
your battles. You can prove a point, but you don't need to prove the point all the time. And a lot of the times, yes, we do want to make our point, and we want to be felt, we want to be heard, we want to be seen. Our emotions.
We want to be right.
Thank you, Xavier. Moving along swiftly. It's not always necessary. It doesn't serve the greater good better. It doesn't like everything is okay, and yes, you can do everything. But is it beneficial? Not everything is beneficial. So choose your struggle, choose your battle, because it could just save an entire argument, which could just save an entire day, an entire trip. It could save you a couple of hours off of your trip or off of your day, or even the start to your day. It could upset your kids. It could upset everybody when it's unnecessary. It really is unnecessary. So choose your struggles.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for everyone that is watching on the live. If you came late, we do start at 9. So please do check us out on every Wednesday morning at 9. See you on the next one. Love you. Goodbye.
Also, if there's any other questions you guys would like us to delve into, maybe topics you'd like us to delve into, DM us, send us a message, or you can even, sometimes we post the link. Let us know what you want to know. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new show.
Xavier used to be my boyfriend, then my fiance, and then my husband, so he's my ex-boyfriend.
We decided that we needed to spice this up.